Earthbound by Artemis Greenleaf. Chapter 7. Rescue.
The bleeding fishermen have seen her.
The shark lazily swam on, sucking up plankton, unaware of the mortal danger she was in.
Skylar, go up there and distract them.
What?
I'll call a storm, but it takes a while. Go up there and appear, or shove a wrench in the engine works. I don't care what, just do something. She hasn't got much time,
she said, looking at the basking shark, undulating slowly ahead.
They'll try and drive her to shallow water and trap her there before they harpoon her.
Desperation made the swirling of Kate's voice sound more like a storm surge than a gentle tide. I looked at the shark. I couldn't stand by and do nothing. How was I supposed to get on the ship? Nick Niven's magic and the Merrow's hat had left me feeling solid, but as soon as my head broke the surface of the water, the heaviness fell away. I took off the little red hat as I rose out of the water. It floated towards the deck. As I became less solid, I couldn't hold on to it, and the hat fell away from my hand. Kate caught it as it tumbled back into the sea. The fishermen had come alongside the shark and were trying to herd her towards the shore. I tried hard to remember everything that Una had taught me about materializing. I concentrated, and almost immediately my right hand and most of my arm appeared. Yes, I said. There was only one problem. No one noticed. I heard a winch clattering as they prepared the net. I went over and tapped the man working the controls on the shoulder.
Shove off, can't you see I'm busy?
He shouted, without turning around. I tapped him again. This time he turned around. Anger had twisted his mouth into a snarl. Then he saw my hand, apparently not attached to anything.
Bloody hell!
He shouted as he jumped back and away from the controls. The net slid to the deck in a tangle.
Liam, you idiot! You've canted the bloody net!
I started laughing and I lost concentration, dematerializing.
There was a hand floating in the air. The only hand floating anywhere was yours, you gumbean. Now look, there's a storm brewing,
the captain growled. The sky had darkened and the wind had picked up. Whitecaps scrolled across the water's surface. The captain was standing close to the edge of the boat, watching the shark.
Bloody hell, said the captain. The fins on that bloody thing will bring in at least €1,000. It'll be something in this weather. It's now or never. Is the gun rigged?
Yep, said one of the fishermen, as he handed the handheld harpoon gun to the captain. A cruel steel arrow struck out of the barrel of a rifle. A cable was attached to the end of the arrow and fastened to a cleat on the deck. In an instant I materialized, almost all of me, and I flew straight at the captain, crashing into him. He screamed as he fell into the sea. His hands scrabbled at the basking shark, but she dived and disappeared from sight. The crew threw out the life ring, but the captain's hands were slippery from the shark's slime. He tried to put his arm through the ring so they could haul him up, but he vanished, as if something had grabbed him from below and pulled him down. I knew it was Kate, and that she planned to drown the man. I dived to where she was holding him, about 3 meters down. He struggled hard to get away, but the Merrow was much stronger. I could see my hat tucked into the band that held her hair. I already felt myself getting weak as I snatched it from her and smashed it onto my head. "Kate, what are you doing? Let him go!" I had no stomach for murder, whether it was a shark or a fishing boat captain.
"Up the yard, this is not your concern."
"They'll come looking for him. You'll be seen. Please, let him go." The man was barely fighting now. For a long moment, Kate glared at me. Then she turned him loose. He floated up and away from us, disappearing from our sight as the crew pulled him aboard.
Kate, you can't just go around killing people.
Why not?
Well, because.
The answer should have been obvious, but somehow I couldn't think of it. You just can't. We swam back to the Merrow village in a horrible, thick silence. Connell and Pedir were out in the town square.
There you are, you tiddlers,
Pedir called to us.
Come on, Skylar. Pedir'll take us to Clare Island. Are you coming along, Kate?
Asked Connell.
No, I've got other things to get on with.
She swam away without looking back.
Had a falling out, did you?
Peter asked me. I told them about the basking shark incident.
Ah, that'll be it then. She's quite fond of them summer sharks. And she's always looking after them. They're not nearly as common as they used to be. That old captain, he'll think twice about taking one now.
But the captain, he's seen her. Won't he come looking for Kate?
Peter chuckled. Well, he'd see what she wanted him to see. You can be sure of that. How do you think it is, girl, that there are so many of us around, and so few people have seen us?
Connell gave me his famous smile-wink combo.
There's a silver lining, don't you know? Now you've gone and got good at materialising.
I guess, was the best reply I could come up with. We swam along, Peter humming a tune, probably some old drinking song. It wasn't long before the seafloor started to rise, and we were in the shallows. A sandy crescent moon beach curled up in front of us. We had arrived at Clare Island. Earthbound by Artemis Greenleaf. This work is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivative Works 3.0 United States license. Environmental sound effects used in this podcast were provided by www.freesound.org. Please check artemisgreenleaf.com for details of specific samples used. If you'd like to leave a comment or learn more about the other projects in progress, please go to www.artemisgreenleaf.com.
Dandelion girl, watch her play on the summer